New York, where the reigning Western Division champion Arizona Diamondbacks face the New York Mets, whose resurgent season is being led by their two franchise headliners.
David Wright and the New York Mets look to bounce back following their fourth consecutive loss last night. Mets will send Johan Santana to the mound, his sixth start this season after missing all of last year. The grounds crew is ready, and so are we. It's the second of a three-game weekend series here at Citi Field in Flushing, Queens. The defending National League West champion Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Mets. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fox Saturday Baseball. I'm Kenny Albert. I'll be joined momentarily by Eric Karros. Diamondbacks won the series opener last night 5-4. They trailed 4-2, scored 3 runs in the 8th inning. And Eric, it will be Johan Santana for the Mets today. Their ace. He has pitched very well over his first 5 starts coming back from shoulder surgery.
Well, I think very well is an understatement. In 4 of those 5 starts, he's given up 1 or no runs. So you think, he's got to have a few victories. Well, he doesn't have any, and that's because he has received next to 0 run support, 4 runs in those 5 starts. He's been throwing well. He's got to continue to throw well, and he goes against a very good Arizona Diamondback ball club. This is a team that won the National League West last year. They're not off to a real quick start, but they've been beset by injury, only 3.5 back of the Los Angeles Dodgers. One of the main reasons, their fiery manager, National League Manager of the Year last year, Kirk Gibson. He's got him playing with his personality. That's why they'll be there at the end.
Kirk Gibson will send rookie Patrick Corbin to the mound this afternoon in his second Major League start. Corbin and Santana. It's the Mets and Diamondbacks' first pitch is next. At Citi Field as we get set for the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Mets. Diamondbacks come in with a record of 14-13. The Arizona batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. A.J. Pollock, the center fielder, will lead off, followed by second baseman Aaron Hill. Justin Upton, the right fielder, bats third. Left fielder Jason Kubel in the cleanup spot. Then first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, followed by third baseman Ryan Roberts, bottom of the order. Shortstop John McDonald. The catcher Henry Blanco. And the pitcher making his second major league start, Patrick Corbin, as the Diamondbacks get set to face 33-year-old left-hander Johan Santana.
You mentioned Johan Santana missing all of last year. He's been great so far this year. And granted, it's only been 5 starts. He's been nails.
These teams have met 100 times during the regular season. Diamondbacks winning last night's game 5-4. That ended a stretch, Eric, for Arizona. They had lost their last 9 games decided by 1 run.
Well, and ironic, because the first 3 games of their season against the San Francisco Giants, they won all 3 by 1 run. They're thinking, hey, this might be the year where we're winning the close games. They go on to lose 9 straight, but seemed they got the monkey off their back yesterday.
Johan Santana, as you mentioned during our open, has been plagued by a lack of run support. He's allowed 1 run or less in 4 of his first 5 starts, but the Mets have only scored 4 runs for Santana.
Yeah, he's gone out there. He's done what he needs to do, and it's almost like he's reinvented himself this year. You look at that ERA of 2.25, you think, you got to have 1 or 2 wins. There's a big 0 in that record, 0-2. Strikeouts are up with 29 right now. Let's take a look at how he's going to have to win today. He's got to do it. Do it yourself, Johan. And the reason I say that is, again, he hasn't been given any kind of run support. And on top of that, as of late, the New York Met bullpen has really, really struggled.
Santana looking for his first win in 611 days. For the Mets defensively, brought to you by Scott's, Hairston, Torres, and Neuenhuis in the outfield from left to right. Justin Turner starting at first base today. Daniel Murphy at second. Ruben Tejada at short. David Wright at third. The battery of Santana and Mike Nickias. Mike Davis not in the Mets starting lineup today. Lucas Duda, Josh Tolley as well. And for Arizona, Miguel Montero and Gerardo Parra not in the starting lineup. The umpires, the crew chief, Jerry Lane, behind the plate. Bob Davidson at first, Chris Conroy at second, and Dan Polito is at third as A.J. Pollock gets set to lead off for the Diamondbacks. A first-round draft pick back in 2009 out of Notre Dame. Grew up in nearby Connecticut. He was the state player of the year back in 2006.
He gets a start here against the New York Mets. Hasn't got a lot of playing time yet this year, but Kirk Gibson likes his athleticism.
Pollock in 11 games, 3 hits in 25 at-bats. The opening pitch today brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. White. First pitch from Santana to Pollock is in for a called strike. 0-1. Pollock, Hill, and Upton for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the first inning. Now 1-1. Santana made his last start on Sunday. Not involved in the decision. A 6-5 Mets win in Colorado. He allowed only 2 hits, no runs in 6 innings. Aaron Hill waiting in the on-deck circle. The 2-1 from Santana fouled off to the right side. Now 2-2.
Well, Santana, he works rather quick, throws a lot of strikes, keeps the defense involved. Look at those career numbers against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Has not faced Arizona since the 2008 season. Line foul back behind third. If you take the 8 position players starting today for the Diamondbacks and their career numbers against Santana, just 5 for 37.
And not a lot of success, but not really a huge sample. And you can look at it 2 ways. They haven't seen Santana, so they don't have these preconceived notions of what they're going to have to see. Just going up there and seeing the ball and hitting it. I mean, there is such a thing as getting bogged down by too much information.
reading too many reports, watching so many videos.
Is your bat okay?
It's Doc Baylor in the Diamondbacks dugout, the Arizona hitting coach. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A.J. Pollock leading off the game for Arizona. Another foul, 3rd in a row. There's Dan Worthen, the Mets pitching coach. Pollock started the season in AAA Reno. Called up on April 18th with a .340 batting average. Andres Torres in center field. An 8-pitch at bat, 1 away.
Hi, Mr. Hill.
And there's Kirk Gibson, last year's National League Manager of the Year. And you could just look, the way this ball club plays, it's just an extension of his personality, the way he played the game. They play the game hard, and they play the game the right way.
Aaron Hill steps in. We spoke with Kirk earlier about his lineup with the number of regulars out today, and he told us, I believe in all 25 guys. They'll perform a lot better down the line if they get a chance to play. Everybody on my roster is important. As Hill pops this one up to the right side. The first baseman today, Justin Turner, moves to his right, makes the catch for out number 2.
You see the Mets skipper right there, Terry Collins' second year at the helm. You know, it's interesting because when he took over this ball club, you know, you had the Beltrons, the Reyes. You know, you had an older ball club. And now,
Hi, Justin. Fine.
This is a team that he's really got to guide through the big leagues. He's got to create their experience, and he's going to have to be patient, but he's willing to take on that task.
Mets at 13 up, 13 down so far this season. They've lost their last 4. With 2 away, here's Justin Upton. And he takes a called strike. 0-1. Upton batting just .232. He was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts in last night's game. Good career numbers against the New York Mets. Patrick Corbin grew up in the Syracuse, New York area. 22 years of age, getting set to make his second major league start. How about going up against Mark Burley and Johan Santana in your first 2 big league starts?
And not a lot of fun. Talk about not a lot of fun. Santana throws what appears to be a fastball right down the middle. You think you're on it. It's got a little movement. You're down 1-2.
Upton gets the bat on it, left field. Scott Hairston makes the play. A 1-2-3 first. 14 pitches for Santana. 4 consecutive games. Mets batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Center fielder Andres Torres leads off, followed by the shortstop Ruben Tejada. David Wright hits third. Scott Hairston in the cleanup spot today. Then second baseman Daniel Murphy. First baseman Justin Turner. Right fielder Kirk Neuenhuis bats seventh. Then the catcher Mike Nickius. And the Mets pitcher Johan Santana. As the Mets get set to face the 22-year-old left-hander. Born in Clay, New York, just outside Syracuse. He wears number 46 like his idol Andy Pettitte of the New York Yankees. Patrick Corbin.
Well, he's another left-hander that the Mets have to face. And the key for him today, stay in control. 2 things. Stay in control of the nerves because you're going to have a lot of family and friends here. And don't give up the free pass. No walks. You've got to limit that, especially against this Mets ball club.
Approximately 50 friends and family members in attendance here today at Citi Field. Andres Torres playing in his 5th game since coming off the disabled list. He has at least 1 hit and 1 RBI in each of his previous 4. Torres, Tejada, and Wright for the Mets here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Line drive caught by the second baseman Aaron Hill. 1 away. A look at the Diamondbacks defensively brought to you by Scott's. In the outfield from left to right, Kubel, Pollock, and Upton. Goldschmidt at first, Hill at second, John McDonald the shortstop, Ryan Roberts at third. And the battery of Corbin and the 40-year-old former New York Met, Henry Blanco.
I was kidding Henry Blanco the other day. I saw him and I asked him if he was a player coach. And he can still do it. One of the best defensive catchers in the game.
A former teammate of yours with the Dodgers.
Yep.
1 away, here's Ruben Tejada. The Mets shortstop, batting .303. He's second in the league in doubles. Hitting a sizzling .429 against left-handed pitching. And he shoots this one into center field. Pollock is under it for out number 2. So with 2 away, here's David Wright working on his second 10-game hitting streak of this young season. Honored prior to the game here at Citi Field last night as he recently passed Darryl Strawberry as the Mets all-time leader in runs batted in.
Yeah, off to a real nice start. Had a pinky injury and has battled through that.
5-time All-Star, now in his 9th season. One for 2 with a pair of walks in last night's game.
Ball just going foul, didn't hit it that well. You know, I talk about a pinky injury and people at home, oh, pinky injury. Well, hey, the football players do this and the hockey players do that. But anytime you have a hand injury as a baseball player and specifically as a hitter, it can be completely debilitating.
You ever have one?
I did. I dislocated my pinky finger. I played the next day, but just get it wrapped up and try and go at it.
Corbin missing away, now 2-1.
That's why guys that slide head first, I could never understand that. And that's how I hurt my hand. Sliding head first. Your hands are so important in this game.
Center field, Pollock. So a good start for Patrick Corbin, the 22-year-old. Retires the Mets in order on 10 pitches in the bottom of the 1st. Roundup Extended Control Weed and Grass Killer plus Weed Preventer. And by DirecTV, if you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Back at Citi Field, we move to the second inning. Jason Kubel will lead off for Kirk Gibson's Arizona Diamondbacks. Kubel's first season in the desert after 7 years in Minnesota with the Twins. Off to a good start, batting .307 with 12 runs batted in. A former teammate of Johan Santana in Minnesota. Right center. Neuenhuis calling off Torres, one away. Eric, time for our 4 keys to the game.
Well, the Diamondbacks have to go right at the lefties. They just have not swung the bats well against left-handed pitching. They see one today in Santana. The Mets, they've got to get some runs on the board. That's just the bottom line. These last 4 games that they've lost, they have not hit well at all.
One away. Here's the first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Takes a called strike, 0-1. Goldschmidt with a big 2-run double in the 8th inning last night, tied the game at 4. There's Jason Bay, currently on the disabled list in the Mets dugout. Paul Goldschmidt, the USA Today Minor League Player of the Year last season. With Ryan Roberts waiting on deck, Goldschmidt, the Southern League MVP. Homer in each of his first 2 postseason games for the Diamondbacks against Milwaukee. And Santana strikes him out for out number 2. Well, Fox Saturday Baseball returns next week when the same New York Mets head to Miami to take on old friend Jose Reyes and the Marlins. Some of you will see the Cubs and the Brewers, or the Angels and the Rangers. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Chevrolet, returns next week at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Ryan Roberts batting just .164, 12 hits in 73 at-bats. Coming off a season in which he hit 19 home runs and drove in 65 runs.
Well, he's going to have to get going for this Arizona Diamondback ball club if they're going to be successful. You mentioned the impact that he had last year. Right now, Cody Ransom has been getting a lot of the at-bats as of late, and he's been outstanding. But this is a guy that they're going to have to count on.
Ransom with the game-winning RBI last night as Roberts sends this one to deep left center, and he gives the Diamondbacks a 1-0 lead. Home run number 2 on the season for Ryan Roberts, and the first allowed by Santana this year.
Well, interesting, we were talking to Kirk Gibson prior to the game, and I asked him, Cody Ransom, why isn't he in the lineup? He said, look, I've got to get Ryan Roberts at bats. I've got to get him going. We mentioned very productive last year, an integral part of this team's success. That's why Kirk Gibson was manager of the year last year. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle his players. He's going to find a way to get Ryan Roberts and his confidence back.
And he talked about using all 25 of his players. He mentioned the terrific chemistry, and John McDonald sends this one into the corner in left field. A stand-up double for McDonald, so back-to-back extra base hits for the Diamondbacks on consecutive pitches after Santana had retired the first 5 in the game.
You see, they're set up inside, and he's just up in the zone a bit. Not as he missed his target all that much. The thing is, that ball's flat. Not a lot of movement. Santana probably guessing that McDonald may go up there taking a pitch.
And And you talked about the Diamondbacks' struggles against left-handed pitching this year, but back-to-back extra base hits, the Roberts home run, and then the McDonald double. So now Santana faces one of his former battery mates, Henry Blanco. Spent the 2010 season with the Mets. 40 years of age, now in his 23rd professional season. He caught Patrick Corbin's first major league start as well.
But Blanco came up as a third baseman in the Dodge organization. Moved over to the catching position. Now here, he's hitting in the 8th spot here, and although he's not hitting all that well, you've got to be careful with him. Got the pitcher on deck. I'd expect nothing but off speed to Blanco. You see the location here. It's a little bit of the play, but you see him way out in front. Be surprised if Santana goes after him with any fastballs over the big part of the plate.
Line drive right into the glove of David Wright. So McDonald is stranded, but the Diamondbacks take a 1-0 lead. Second home run of the season off the bat of Ryan Roberts. Middle of the second inning, 1-0 Arizona. Game presented by Chevrolet is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Back at Citi Field, Diamondbacks lead 1-0 on a Ryan Roberts home run. Patrick Corbin retired the Mets in order on 10 pitches. In the bottom of the first inning, he will face Scott Hairston, Daniel Murphy, and Justin Turner. Corbin, called up from Double-A, made his major league debut on Monday in Miami. Matched up against Mark Burley. Allowed 3 runs on 8 hits in 5 2/3. Came away with the victory. The first batter he faced in the major leagues was the ex-Met, Jose Reyes.
Well, and Corbin getting the call up. I mean, there's a couple of young studs the Diamondbacks have in their minor league system. Trevor Bauer, Tyler Skaggs. Kirk Gibson really likes Mr. Corbin here.
He was a second-round draft pick of the Angels back in 2009 and came over at the trade deadline in 2010, along with 3 other pitchers, including Joe Saunders, in exchange for Dan Herron.
Yeah, it turned out to be a good deal for the Diamondbacks. See Blanco out there trying to settle the youngster down. especially in this ballpark, you don't want to walk guys. Make them hit it. It's such a big ballpark. Make them hit it. Fly balls. And just look at the size of that thing. Look.
Three balls, one strike on Hairston, who hit for the cycle 8 days ago in Colorado. 10th man in franchise history to do just that. After the double clutch, the throw pulled Goldschmidt off the bag, but he applied the tag on Hairston.
This is a real nice play by the first baseman, Goldschmidt. You see him come off the bag, and as a right-handed first baseman, you've got the glove right by the runner. Now, you watch him, he tags him, and he's got to give with that left arm, because if he's just rigid, great way to break a wrist, blow out an elbow. It's an awfully nice play by the first baseman.
So one away, here's Daniel Murphy as we head down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken, Patrick Corbin pitching in front of many familiar faces today here in Flushing.
Kenny, you said it. He is from Syracuse, New York, not exactly a baseball hotbed. In fact, he did not even play baseball until his junior year of high school, and only then because some friends talked him into it. He had the arm. He was a quarterback on the football team, not to mention a shooting guard in basketball, but no major league team drafted him out of high school. He went to junior college, first for basketball and baseball, then another junior college, and then he became a second-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Angels.
You're right, Ken, a terrific athlete. Kirk Gibson was telling us, Eric, very competitive. He can run, he can hit, laid down 2 beautiful sacrifice bunts in the game on Monday.
Yeah, that's why Kirk Gibson is a big fan, just because of his athleticism and his competitiveness. Pitching coach Charles Nagy there.
Base hit it to left field off the bat of Murphy. So the Mets have their first base runner. Time now for a DirecTV game break as we check in with Greg Amsinger. Greg?
Kenny, we begin on the north side of Chicago. Darwin Barney, the last hope for the Cubbies, taps this one right back to Jamie Wright. That'll do it. Dodgers win 5-1. How about Chris Capuano? He improves to 4-0 on the year. To Beantown we go. Popped up. Wieners is going to put the squeeze on it. The Boston Red Sox lose 8-2. They've lost 4 straight. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Kenny, Eric, back to you in Queens.
All right, thanks, Greg. How about those Baltimore Orioles now 18-9?
Right, and they're running into a tougher part of their schedule, and it doesn't seem to faze them.
Here's a former Oriole, Justin Turner, starting for Ike Davis at first base today. And Terry Collins reminding us before the game how important, there's Ike in the Mets dugout, how important Justin Turner was to this Mets ball club a year ago. He played 117 games, drove in 51 runs, but he's had a hard time getting Turner into the lineup this season.
Well, and that's the thing. He's trying to find guys at bats. That's always difficult for a manager because, you know, some players, they've got to be out there every day. They can't sit on the bench too long. And as you mentioned, Turner played a nice role last year, but just hasn't been able to get the time so far this year.
In the starting lineup today against the left-hander Corbin, and he shoots this one into right field. Justin Upton makes the play for out number 2. So with 2 away, here's the right fielder, Kirk Neuenhuis, who had a terrific month of April. 26 hits, the second most all-time by a Mets rookie during the opening month of the season. Now batting .307. And Terry Collins talked about his football mentality. He was a star running back in high school in the Denver area. His team won the state title. And he's brought that mentality onto the baseball field.
Well, that's what he is. He's a grinder. He's a guy that's going to go out and play hard. His attitude's probably better than his ability. But that's what's allowed him to be successful. You know, there's a lot of guys that have great ability, but they just don't have the mental capacity. I don't mean from a cerebral standpoint, maybe from an intensity standpoint. And that can make up for lack of athleticism if you haven't.
Third-round pick by the Mets back in 2008. 0-2 on Neuenhuis. Murphy on at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, Mike Nickius on deck should Neuenhuis reach.
Mets do not run. Just don't have a lot of team speed.
Only 9 steals over their first 26 games. Coming up during the next half inning, we will chat with Mets right-hander R.A. Dickey. Out to a 3-1 start. There's R.A. He will be on the mound tomorrow. Two and 2 on Neuenhuis. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. As Corbin delivers and Neuenhuis fouls it back.
When you see Corbin had been going over a few times, and it's not so much to pick the runner off, but in that instance right there, he goes home. He had Daniel Murphy going back to first base. What that does is that allows you to make a play at second if you need an extra step. You've got the runner heading back to first.
Corbin missing high and away, so the count is now full. Murphy a 1-out single, Turner fly to right. Johan Santana allowing a run on 2 hits in the top half of the second inning. Ryan Roberts took Santana deep.
See Goldschmidt playing off now.
Murphy on the move, and Neuenhuis takes ball 4. First walk issued by Corbin this afternoon after he was ahead of the count, 0-2.
That's just a young pitcher trying to be too fine. You've got a big league hitter down 0-2. A young big league hitter. You've got to expand his zone. You can't walk. This is a ballpark. You cannot give up walks.
Murphy the runner on second. Neuenhuis takes his lead off first, with the catcher Mike Nickius at the plate, making his 7th start of the season. He was scheduled to start a game earlier this week in Houston, but Nickius was one of a number of players that came down with the flu.
Yeah, a couple of guys. Duda was hit with it as well. Saw David Wright walking around the clubhouse with a bottle of Pedialyte. That's usually what you give your kids when they get dehydrated and get sick. I said, hey, the bug get you? He said, no, I'm just drinking that stuff now.
Preventive measures.
I guess so. David Wright.
Josh Thole, the Mets' regular starting catcher. Nickius 3 hits in 16 at-bats this season. Out of Georgia Tech. Fouled off to the right side. Now 1-2. 2 on, 2 out with Johan Santana waiting on deck should Nicky is reach. The 1-2 from Corbin. He fouls it back. So Nicky stays alive.
Corbin again ahead in the count. He had Neuenhuis 0-2. Ended up walking him. Here he's ahead 1-2. Just don't want to keep wasting pitches. Come hard in. It's something close to the zone.
He's already thrown 24 pitches this half inning. Fastball missing inside, now 2-2.
You see, and when he misses, it's not as if he's missing, an inch or two off the plate where he may entice the hitter. I mean, it's pretty easy to lay off of a pitch like that. Last slider down and in. There they are, big league scouts. Some other ball clubs.
Nicky has won around, so the Mets strand 2 in the bottom of the second. We'll return after these messages from your local Fox station. Trailing the Diamondbacks 1-0 as we move to the third. Kenny Albert along with Eric Karros. Patrick Corbin will lead off for the Diamondbacks as we welcome in tomorrow's Mets starter, R.A. Dickey. And R.A., I'm sure it's been great for you and your teammates to watch Johan back out there this season after missing all of 2011.
Absolutely. He's kind of the catalyst of our staff. He brings with him all the pitching pedigree of a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, so we're glad to have him back out there.
First major league hit for Patrick Corbin, who laid down 2 sacrifice bunts in his first start. Now, R.A., in your last start on Monday, you took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. At what point do you start thinking about it?
Well, yeah, it's a real organic thing. You know, it doesn't just. I try to throw a no-hitter every time I go out. So, you know, I guess after about the 6th inning, you start really thinking that you might be able to do it. For me, I hadn't gotten quite to the place where I felt like it was something that was going to be an issue. And sure enough, in the 6th inning, I think Schaefer got a little blooper over the third baseman's head, and that was it.
Here's A.J. Pollock. Swings at the first pitch. Torres moving to his right, 1 away.
R.A., when you, as a knuckleball pitcher, when you run into struggles, I mean, everybody has, you know, the pitching coach on the team, but do you still go to the pitching coach because you're unconventional, you throw the knuckleball, or are you your own coach?
Well, yeah, I think there's a part of it you have to be your own coach. I have a great pitching coach. Dan Worthen and I really collaborate well. You know, but a lot of it is when I came into the organization, I had to kind of tell him what to look for. The guys on my speed dial when I'm really struggling are Charlie Huff and Tim Wakefield. Those guys are kind of my go-to guys that I'll call if I'm kind of in a funk, and ask them to look at some film and help pick apart what's going on. Not that Dan's not capable, but those guys have kind of walked a mile in my shoes, and there's not many of us out there anymore. So it can be a frustrating thing.
So if you've got a youngster that's a knuckleball pitcher, or a guy that wants to become a knuckleball pitcher, what is the one characteristic that you have to be successful?
Oh man, I would say physically you have to be able to take spin off the baseball. I mean, every other pitch that you throw in a conventional arsenal is meant to impart a certain type of spin to be able to manipulate the ball in the direction you want to manipulate it in. With a knuckleball, you're taking spin completely off. And so physically, that's what you have to be able to do. You have to be able to detract spin. The other thing I would say, and it's not physical at all, but you just have to really have a heart of perseverance. I mean, you're gonna have to hold having terrible outings with it and having great outings and be able to hold them both. And a lot of times that takes a level of maturity. So, you know, just keep going, one foot in front of the other.
2 away, Justin Upton at the plate after Santana struck out Aaron Hill. We're chatting with tomorrow's Mets starter, R.A. Dickey. And R.A., the Mets were in Colorado last week, and I know you got a chance to catch up with Peyton Manning. You guys were together at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah. Todd Helton, who's a player for the Rockies, myself and Peyton Manning were all in school together, so it was nice. Peyton came to watch Todd play, and fortunately I was there, and we got to kind of reminisce a little bit and catch up. And both those guys, you know, watching those guys compete and how they prepared to play, it was a real gift to be able to get to watch those guys.
Justin Upton with a base hit into right center. Corbin on his way to third. So the Diamondbacks now with runners on the corners with 2 outs.
I've got to ask, did you guys have any English lit classes together at UT or no?
No, not that I can remember. Not that they're not capable. I just think they had other interests, I think.
Well, R.A., we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes during the top of the third here at Citi Field. Good luck in your start tomorrow.
Thank you, man. Glad to do it.
All right, R.A. Dickey off to a 3-1 start for the Mets this season. Diamondbacks with 2 hits in the inning off Santana. The pitcher Corbin got things started with his first big league hit. And now Jason Kubel at the plate. Kubel fly to right. His first time up back in the 2nd inning. There's Corbin on third. And Upton over at first.
Yeah, Kubel's had 24 at-bats this year with runners in scoring position, hitting at just about a 200 clip. That's one thing that this Diamondback team, they haven't hit their stride yet, and that's with runners in scoring position.
Down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken, as you know, R.A. Dickey, not only baseball's only remaining knuckleball pitcher, but a man who climbed Mount Kilimanjaro during the offseason and is a best-selling author as well.
Yes, in fact, Kenny, his book is perhaps the most intensely personal baseball book ever written. It's called Wherever I Wind Up, My Quest for Truth, Authenticity, and the Perfect Knuckleball. It's not simply a book about his baseball experiences, which are fascinating. He also details with co-author Wayne Coffey some of his most painful life experiences.
Number 31 on the New York Times bestseller list this week.
There he is. Studied English Lit, University of Tennessee.
Now 1-2 on Kubel.
Took a lot off this pitch. This is at off speed. You see Kubel out in front. Looks like, oh, I'm going to get it. Oh, it's not quite there yet.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs. With the Mets infielders in the shift, Tejada playing behind the bag at second. Kubel takes ball 2. There's Paul Goldschmidt waiting on deck. Corbin on at third, Upton over at first. Two from Santana, just misses. High and away, full count.
Well, that's a good pitch to lay off of, but it's one of those things as a hitter. It's not so much that you're laying off of it as much as you can't hit it. So you just got to hope that the umpire gives you that call or it misses by an inch or two, which is what happened.
There's Corbin and Upton. Payoff pitch from Santana. He strikes out his former teammate in Minnesota, Jason Kubel. Diamondback strand 2 in the inning. Still 1-0 Arizona mid-third. To the MLB on Fox, presented by Chevrolet. From Citi Field, Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Ken Rosenthal. Patrick Corbin with his first major league hit during the last half inning off Johan Santana. And now Santana steps in to face Corbin and takes a called strike, 0-1. Santana 0 for 8 this season, a career 167 hitter. Andres Torres on deck, and then Ruben Tejada. 1-2 on Santana. Fastball missing away, now 2-2.
See, this is what I'm talking about with Corbin. And, you know, we talked earlier, he had a hitter 0-2 and ended up walking him with Neuenhuis. This right now, you've got the pitcher 0-2. You throw a breaking ball, fastball out of zone. You've got to be more pitch efficient.
Up the middle, and it gets through for a base hit. Time now for another DirecTV game break. We check in with Greg Amsinger.
Shortstop with his base hit, the left center. That's going to bring in Aramis Ramirez, make it 1-0. But later in the inning, some bad news. Alex Gonzalez takes off trying to steal second, injures himself. He'd have to leave the game. This is the 4th straight game where a player leaves with an injury for the Brewers. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Kenny, Eric, back to you in Queens.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. So Johan Santana with the leadoff single for the Mets. Patrick Corbin led off the top of the 3rd with a base hit for the Diamondbacks off Santana.
Yeah, but that hit Santana had. The problem is Corbin had him 0-2 and then gets him to a 2-2 count where he's got to throw a strike right down the middle. Santana just puts the bat on the ball. This was well placed. See, Hill had a different angle the last step or two. He tried to cut it off and wasn't able to field the ball. But that was because Corbin, again, had him 0-2 and then goes 2-2.
Corbin missing inside with the fastball. Now 2-0. Torres lined out to Hill his first time up. A run on 4 hits for the Diamondbacks. No runs on 2 hits for the New York Mets. Fastball down the middle for a called strike. Now 2-1. Torres fouls it off to the right side. Now 2-2.
Well, you mentioned 2-2, that 2 balls. Corbin has had at least 2 balls on 8 of the 10 hitters he's faced so far. Marty Aronoff pointing that out to me up here in the booth.
Corbin has thrown 45 pitches. Still no outs here in the 3rd. Second major league start for Corbin. The 22-year-old left-hander stands 6'2" tall. Another foul off to the left side. Charles Daggy, the Diamondbacks pitching coach, celebrating his 45th birthday today.
Alan Trammell right to his left, former Detroit shortstop. Bench coach now for the Diamondbacks.
Torres did not go around, says Bob Davidson, so the count is full. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. It will be a ninth.
And Corbin gets in on the hands there. Torres needs a new bat. This pitch is off of the plate, but as a hitter, a 3-2 count, you got to protect. And it's an enticing pitch. You think, I can get to it, I can get to it, I might get the bat head out. Those are the balls, if you do get the bat head out, you can keep it fair. You know, if there's any such thing as a cheap home run, you can get one down the line.
Santana with a leadoff single. Ninth pitch of the at-bat to Torres. On the ground to the left side. Backhanded by McDonald to second for one. On to first. Torres is safe. So the Diamondbacks get the lead runner, Santana. Torres on at first with one away.
That's a real nice play by the shortstop McDonald, just to get there and just makes the throw without even picking up the second baseman. He just knows where he is.
Well, Eric, it has been well publicized during the offseason. The Mets brought the fences in here at Citi Field.
Yeah, so far it really hasn't made a difference as far as home runs being hit in this ballpark. A lot of it has to do also with the personnel that the Mets have.
You look at the first 14 home games, each of the first 4 seasons for the Mets in this ballpark, and they've only hit 7 home runs this season. Last year, 18 over the first 14 at home. And the Mets scoring just over 3 runs per game, yet they've got 8 and 6.
Well, the bottom line is, playing in this ballpark, you're going to have to be defensive minded. You're going to have good pitching. You're not going to outslug somebody, and I don't think this Mets ball club is built for that. In fact, I don't think it. I know it.
Diamondbacks for the home run today, second of the year for Ryan Roberts. They lead the Mets 1-0. Tejada fly to center his first time up. Mentioned the Mets not run very often. They only stole 9 bases, but Torres is their biggest threat to steal.
He is a threat. Now remember, though, he's coming off a disabled list, and while he is a threat, I'm sure he's a bit hesitant on just diving right back into things and letting it go.
One and one on Tejada. David Wright waiting on deck. Bottom of the third from Citi Field. Diamondbacks lead the Mets 1-0. One out, bottom of the third inning. Andres Torres, the runner on first. Ruben Tejada at the plate, facing rookie left-hander Patrick Corbin. He throws to first once again. I don't think any of Corbin's 50 friends and family members are the ones booing.
Well, you look at that percentage right there. Torres, again, when healthy, is a very good base stealer.
You see some of Corbin's family members wearing his number 46. As we mentioned earlier, he wears 46 because he was a big Andy Pettit fan growing up in upstate Syracuse.
Well, and you see right there, Kenny, that Andres Torres running on that. It wasn't a straight steal. That was a hit and run. See, there's the family right there. You see the 46 on the chest of those shirts.
Another foul off to the right side.
Corbin kind of patterning himself off of Pettit as well in the way he pitches and attacks hitters. Tries to get inside with that cutter, that fastball in off the plate. Also with that slider that bears in on the right-handed hitter's hands. Just a few world championships short, but you never know.
Corbin has thrown 54 pitches. Our statistician Marty Aronoff points out he's also thrown 9 times over to first base. Pitch number 55. Beautiful curve in for a called strike 3. So now 2 away. Time now for another DirecTV game break. We head to Greg Amsinger at the MLB Network studios.
Kenny, thanks. We're off to the Motor City. Andy Dirks getting the start in left field for the Tigers. Going the other way with the pitch. This is going to score Alex Avila. First run of the game for the Tigers. Ajax, Austin Jackson, his second hit of the ball game. Johnny Peralta, last night's hero, scores. Tigers up 2-0 right now in the fourth. Kenny, Eric, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. With 2 away, here's David Wright. Fly to center his first time up.
You know, we talked a little bit about Corbin patterning himself off of Pettit. And just as Pettit likes to come inside with the breaking ball to right-handed hitters, Corbin does the same. Tejada knows it, can't do anything, just freezes.
One and one on Wright. Pepsi Max is giving you the chance to play with some of baseball's greats. Go online to MLB.com/Pepsi Max to vote for your favorite legends and learn how to turn your field of dreams into a reality. Remember, if you build it, they will come. 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd inning, as Corbin throws to first for a 10th time today.
I can't imagine them doing any kind of running right now with David Wright at the plate. He has the ability to drive the ball out of the park, hit something in the gap.
Fouls it off to the right side, now 1-2.
The last thing you want if you're the Mets is for Torres to get thrown out at second base and then David Wright leading off an inning. He really is your power guy in today's lineup. Look at that start. 390 at coming in today, an on-base percentage of over 500. Again, this is not Andy Pettit pitching. This is Corbin, Patrick Corbin, but we're coming inside, inside, inside. I mean, you look at this pitch. I mean, he is just diving in. It makes you, as a hitter, cognizant of that inside pitch.
Torres goes. Here's the throw from Blanco. It is off the mark. So Torres with Wright at the plate. Steals second base.
Well, and Wright at the plate on with 2 strikes is different than Wright at the plate with an 0-0 count. If your hitter has 2 strikes, it's a good time to go, because if you do get thrown out, then you get him a new count leading off inning. Torres gets a good jump. He's down there. Now you've got a 3-2 situation. I can't believe Wright's going to get anything good to hit.
First stolen base for Torres this season. Playing in only his 6th game. On the ground to the third baseman, Roberts. And that will do it for the Mets. In the 3rd, Diamondbacks lead 1-0. game presented by Chevrolet is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Look at the Staten Island Ferry as we welcome you back to Citi Field. Top of the fourth inning. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Ken Rosenthal with the Diamondbacks leading the Mets 1-0. Paul Goldschmidt will lead things off for Arizona, followed by Ryan Roberts and John McDonald. Goldschmidt struck out his first time up. Fouls off the first pitch from Santana, 0-1. Roberts on deck. He took Santana deep back in the second inning.
You know, this is a guy, we talked about the Diamondbacks' struggle with left-handed pitching. This is a guy that's really confounding. Goldschmidt, his career coming in to today was 9 for 55 against left-handed pitching. And this is a guy that absolutely destroyed left-handed pitching in the minor leagues. In 2010, he hit .413. In 2011, .376. You know, this is a guy that, when he sees left-handed pitcher, he's running up to the box, but it just hasn't translated yet in the big leagues.
And Goldschmidt facing the left-hander. Santana strikes out for the second time today. As Ryan Roberts walks up to the plate, we take a look and a listen back with Justin Upton wearing a microphone for us today during Roberts' at bat in the second inning.
Got him! Got him! There's that mini man. There's that man. Right over.
See right there, Roberts, he's excited. Upton, he's fired up. You know, Upton's a guy for this ball club that has really got to get going. I mean, the ability is there, and he just hasn't been on track yet. Not slugging the ball real well. But Chris Young, their center fielder, who got off to a great start, he's been out for a while. And he's really the protection for Justin Upton.
Young has been swinging off a tee. Will start to take light batting practice pretty soon. Diamondbacks also without Stephen Drew. He did play in an extended spring training game on Thursday, making his way back from a fractured right ankle.
Well, those guys are still, I don't want to say a ways away, but it's not like they're coming back next week. I think the last thing that happens is that they rush Stephen Drew. Chris Young swinging the bat a little bit, but not really throwing it well. But that's the thing about this ball club. No matter who Kirk Gibson has put out there, they go out and they compete. They're above 500. They're 3.5 games behind the first place Dodgers. Again, you just can't say enough about what Kirk Gibson and his staff, the environment that they've created in Arizona.
Payoff pitch to Roberts. Takes ball 4. First walk issued by Santana today. He trails 1-0, but Ken Rosenthal, the Mets, thrilled to have their ace back this season.
Guys, the best description I've heard from a scout about Santana so far is that he's a rich man's Jamie Moyer. His average fastball, 88.4 miles per hour. That's down almost 3.5 miles per hour from his final season with the Twins in 2007. Yet he still has that great competitiveness, that tremendous know-how. I talked to Johan, and he told me his command is still not where he wants it to be coming off shoulder surgery. Pitching coach Dan Worthen said we can expect to see the real Johan around June 1st.
Thanks, Ken. Strike one to John McDonald. Ken, what does today's bow tie represent?
One is for the United States Air Force, Kenny, and it's the first in a series for Military Awareness Month. I'll have a different one representing a branch of the armed forces each week this month.
All right, great job, Ken. John McDonald doubled back in the second inning. One out. Roberts, the runner on first. McDonald from New London, Connecticut. Local flavor. When you look up and down this Arizona Diamondbacks roster, A.J. Pollock and John McDonald from Connecticut. So is their pitching coach, Charles Nagy. And starting pitcher, of course, Patrick Corbin from Syracuse, New York.
And that man right there, we were going to show you Henry Blanco, but there's Charles Nagy right there. Henry Blanco, he's not from the East Coast.
But he did play for the Mets.
Catcher. He did play for the Mets.
McDonald with his second base hit of the game. Singles into left, moving Roberts over to second.
And Kenny talking about Santana's command, not where he wants it to be. That's an 0-2 pitch right there. Mistake by the pitcher. See, this is 0-2. It's just up in the zone too much right there. Very flat, not a lot of dive when you're throwing that off-speed pitch. Again, you're talking about two guys, McDonald and Roberts, getting the starts today, doing a nice job for the Diamondbacks.
First pitch to Blanco, low ball one. He lined out to David Wright his first time up. Roberts, the runner on second. McDonald over at first. Right field off the bat of Blanco. Nieuwenhuis has it. Roberts advances to third, now 2 away. So the pitcher, Patrick Corbin, has singled his first time up. Will come to the plate with runners on the corners. And during Corbin's first at bat back in the third inning, we listed in once again to Justin Upton wearing a microphone for us this afternoon.
Oh! Shot him! That his first knock? First knock took him forever.
Took him forever, all of 2 starts.
Yeah. I can promise you, Johan Santana's not laying a fastball down the middle. You know, that base hit is just going to earn him change up here and there, maybe a slider. That fastball down the middle, it's not happening anymore.
We talked about what a terrific athlete Corbin is. Basketball player in junior college, good hitter, good speed on the base paths. In fact, Kirk Gibson told us about a triple that Corbin hit back in spring training.
Well, again, you're not going to get that BP fastball anymore. You see right there, Santana starts him off with a slider in the dirt. Look at that. You know, that's like a pitch that you're pitching to the number 3 hitter.
Corbin looking to help his own cause. Friends and family. His parents, Dan and Patty, here at Citi Field. Corbin gets the bat on it. Left center. Catch is made by Torres to retire the Diamondbacks. They strand 2. Middle of the 4th here at Citi Field. 1-0 Arizona. fourth inning, with the Diamondbacks leading the Mets 1-0. Middle of the order for New York. Scott Hairston will lead off, followed by Daniel Murphy and Justin Turner. Hairston grounded out to the third baseman Roberts, his first time up. And we talked about the lack of run support for Johan Santana this season. Mets no runs and only 2 hits over the first 3 innings today.
Well, he should be used to it, right?
Perhaps it's the last name. Irvin Santana of the Angels pitched last night. The Angels have been shut out in each of his last 5 starts.
Yeah, you know, but on the flip side, Santana's not giving up any runs.
No.
It's 1 here, 0 there.
For the second time, Hairston grounds out to Roberts. Chevrolet is helping to build the next generation of diamonds and dreams. Here's Ken Rosenthal to tell you more.
As the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, Chevrolet is proud to be building the next generation of memories at all levels of the game. From the Chevrolet Youth Baseball program's instructional clinics and equipment donations to the many ball fields they've made better, see Chevrolet's commitment to the game at ChevyBaseball.com.
All right, thanks, Ken. Daniel Murphy with one of the 2 Mets hits today. Singled back in the second inning. And was stranded on second. Mets have lost 4 in a row after starting the season 13-9. Swept this week in Houston. And then last night they had a 4-2 lead erased in the 8th inning. Despite the Mets' 500 record, Aaron, they've been outscored by 31 runs. Friends of yours?
Some colorful hats, probably in honor of the Kentucky Derby.
Second base hit of the game for Daniel Murphy as he singles to right. Well, tonight the UFC returns to Fox and immediately hits the air live with an explosive heavyweight bout between Lamar Johnson and Pat Barry, followed by 3 epic fights, including a 5-round showdown between lightweight contenders Jim Miller and Nate Diaz. UFC Fight Night on Fox, sponsored by Bud Light, live from East Rutherford, New Jersey, tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. 1 out base runner for the Mets as Justin Turner steps in, fly to right his first time up. .70 pitches thrown by Corbin so far today. Corbin spent part of yesterday in Manhattan along with his teammate J.J. Puts, the former Met, visiting the MLB Fan Cave.
You had a chance to get over there yet, or just?
I have not, but I plan on going pretty soon.
Let me know how it is.
I know our colleague Tim McCarver visited the Fan Cave last year. Turner with a base hit into left field. So back-to-back singles. Murphy and Turner. Mets have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, Corbin's been dodging bullets, the last 2 innings. The second inning, runners at first and second, got out of it. Last inning in the third, he left the runner on second. And here we are again. Runners on first and second, 1 out. He's been able to make pitches to get out of any situations, but finds himself in a bit of a jam now. Remember, Neuenhuis in his last at-bat was down 0-2, but battled back to work a walk. And what was good about that at-bat, Neuenhuis was able to see a lot of pitches which should benefit him right here.
Corbin has thrown a first pitch ball to 11 of the 15 batters he's faced, but has not yet given up a run. 2 hits in the inning for the Mets, and a nice save there by Blanco. So first pitch ball now to 12-16.
Yeah, you're just not going to be effective. You may be able to dance your way through a few innings, but eventually you're going to get yourself into trouble and not be able to get out of it. Again, this is a ballpark where you want the hitters to put the ball in play.
Corbin missing away. Actually caught the outside corner. 1-1.
That was a generous call right there. Again, as a hitter, when you're up there, you got a guy that can't really find the strike zone and then gets a call when it's a couple inches off the plate. It's frustrating.
Gary Lane, the home plate umpire. 1-1 from Corbin. That is ball 2. Mike Nicky is on deck. Daniel Murphy, Justin Turner with back-to-back base hits. A 2-1 to Neuenhuis. Now 3 balls, 1 strike.
Neuenhuis has to zone one up here. Just because it's a strike does not mean you offer at it. You've got to look for a pitch in a specific spot.
(3-1) from Corbin, full count. Payoff pitch from Corbin is fouled back this way. You mentioned Corbin visited the MLB Fan Cave yesterday, and he tweeted a photo of himself along with J.J. Putz.
It's a good-looking photo there.
Patrick Corbin 11 on Twitter. And he just gained about 100 followers in the last 5 seconds. Ball 4 to Neuenhuis. He walks for the second time today. And the Mets have loaded the bases here in the 4th inning. Charles Nagy, pitching coach, will visit the mound. Manager Kirk Gibson was unaware that it was Nagy's birthday today until we mentioned it to him. Perhaps Charles wanted to keep that quiet around the clubhouse.
Well, all he's doing right now is talking to Corbin, just saying, look, we got the lead, settle down, throw strikes, trust your defense. Your team can't help you when you're allowing free passes. As I said, this is a ballpark that you just cannot walk, guys.
Right-hander Josh Colmenter up in the Diamondbacks pen. 1 out, bases loaded for Mike Nicky. As Mets are just 3 for 22 with the bases full this season. They started 0 for 16 and have 3 hits in their last 6 at bats.
Well, and right here, if you're Nicky, you got to think that he's going to try and throw you a strike. So you're looking to be aggressive, but only aggressive on a pitch that you can drive. See, that's not something. You're not really looking for the off-speed pitch. You know, you're thinking he's going to throw me a fastball. You sit on a fastball. You wait for a fastball. And if he throws you a changeup or a curveball or a slider, whatever he may throw, you hope that you're disciplined enough to lay off of it. Nikias isn't. Gives Corbin the advantage.
Nicky has struck out his first time up. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 4th, 0-2.
See, that's 2 off-speed pitches. And Nikias is offered at both of them. And again, when a pitcher is in trouble, especially the bases are loaded, and you are in a position of power, you've got to go up there and I'm only hitting fastball. I'm only hitting fastball. I'm only hitting fastball.
The 0-2 from Corbin. Fastball missing inside. Ball 1. Johan Santana on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Harrison led off the inning, grounded to 3rd. Murphy and Turner back-to-back base hits, and then a walk to Nieuwenhuis. The 1-2 to Nicky is space hit into right field. Murphy scores. The ball gets away from Upton. Here comes Turner. The Mets take a 2-1 lead.
Well, Nikias makes the adjustment. He's up there, off-speed pitch, I swing at it. Another off-speed, down 0-2. Now he gets the fastball. Now this becomes predictable. The fastball in, here comes what? The off-speed pitch away. Nikias is looking for it, does a great job of going with it. I thought that Corbin might want to come back in again. There's nothing like doubling up. This is that whole thing. This is the big leagues. So you're going away, and then you throw that fastball way in off the plate. Well, in high school and college, you go away next. This isn't high school or college. This is the big leagues. Come back in again. And this is where where Corbin has lived all day long. Inside, inside, inside.
That will be all for Patrick Corbin, who threw 83 pitches and leaves with 1 out in the 4th. Make his first appearance of the season out of the bullpen after 4 starts. As we send it downstairs to Ken Rosenthal with Patrick Corbin's parents, Dan and Patty. Ken?
Thanks, Kenny. This is Patty. This is Dan. All right, Patty, we'll start with you. What was it like watching your son pitch today? Exciting, agonizing, in between?
Exciting and really nervous. And very, very exciting. So.
Now, I saw some of the Met fans giving you a little bit of a hard time. Do they know you're the parents?
I don't know, but hopefully in months to come they will. I'm so proud of Patrick. I'm so proud of him.
Now, Dan, he didn't start pitching until he was in 11th grade.
Right.
If I had said to you then, hey, he's going to be a major league pitcher, what would you have said?
Oh, I thought you were crazy. There's no way. But I kept trying to get him to try out for school ball, but he just wouldn't. He wanted to play Little League with his friends. And it was the best thing that happened. He tried out when he was a junior in high school. And he got better and better. I knew he had the arm. I knew he would make the team. He's got the arm, but it's worked out.
All right, well, you guys enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you very much. Patty, Dan, back to you, Kenny.
So proud of you.
All right, thanks very much, Ken. Santana lays down the bunt. Blanco throws to first, so Santana able to move the base runners over. Neuenhuis to third, and Nicky is over to second.
Santana does a nice job of getting it out far enough away where Blanco doesn't have really any other play but to go to first base.
So Santana does his job. Here's Andres Torres. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Third, there's another pretty good athlete in the Corbin family. Patrick's younger sister, Kelly, member of a state championship basketball team this past season up in the Syracuse area. Patrick Corbin knocked out after 3 1/3. He allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. The base runners are his responsibility. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and his first major league hit back in the 3rd inning. The 1-1 from Coleman to Torres, and Torres sends it into left center. 2 runs will score, and the Mets take a 4-1 lead. RBIs number 5 and 6 on the season for Andres Torres. The Mets have scored 4 in the inning.
Yeah, Andres Torres this year, 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position. This is a breaking ball. Look at his head and his eyes. He's literally watching the ball hit the bat. Now, doesn't hit it square, but hits it hard enough to serve it into left center field. Drive in 2 runs. 5 for 6 now with runners in scoring position. That's pretty good.
So all 4 runs charged to Corbin. Johan Santana helping his own cause with the sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, you know, I'll go back. I think the important at-bat of this inning, though, to Kirk Neuenhuis. He had 2 runners on, lefty versus lefty, and he ends up walking it. You know, that's where we talked about Corbin's outing today. There's Neuenhuis who drew the big walk. And guys know that in the clubhouse and Terry Collins, but tomorrow when you look at the scoreboard, you say, oh, base hit. Oh, those were the big hits. But that was the big at-bat.
Ruben Tejada 0 for 2. Fly to center and called out on strikes.
But getting back to Corbin, he's got good stuff. He's got a good arm. He's just got to be more pitch efficient. He's got to throw more strikes. You can get away with that stuff at lower levels, but at the big league level, if you're constantly giving the other club opportunities and pitching behind in the count, you're going to find yourself in trouble.
Now 1-2 on Tejada. Mets with 4 runs on 4 hits and a walk here in the 4th inning. They chase 22-year-old Patrick Corbin. Torres back in at first. Cole entered 10 wins last year. He started 24 games for the Diamondbacks. Finished 5th in National League Rookie of the Year balloting. There's Corbin in the Arizona dugout. Torres goes, and Tejada lifts it into center field. Pollock has it, and the Mets are retired. They send 8 men to the plate in the 4th inning. They score 4 runs on 4 hits, and now lead the Diamondbacks 4-1. Top of the order for the Diamondbacks here in the 5th as A.J. Pollock leads off. He has flied out twice to the center field at Torres. Eric, the Mets with as many runs for Johan Santana today as they scored in support of Santana in his first 5 starts combined.
Yeah, he's having a little luck today. But again, he's been doing it as well. Pitching, base hit, sacrifice. You know, so far in this game, there has not been a recorded ground ball out for Johan Santana. Everything has been in the air or a strikeout.
There's a base hit into right field. 4th hit of the season for Pollock in 28 at-bats. Off of Johan Santana, who was drafted by the Marlins in the Rule 5 draft in '99, traded to the Twins later that same day. 2-time Cy Young Award winner with Minnesota. And over the past decade plus, terrific numbers.
Yeah, I mean, just outright dominating. You know, in the last 10 seasons, this one included, an ERA over 3 only 3 times. And when I say over 3, you think, oh, what, do you have a 4 something one year? No, the highest was 3.33. I mean, that just is about as dominant as you can be. Also in the last 10, always more innings pitched than hits allowed.
Aaron Hill 0 for 2. And Terry Collins told us earlier today that he heard one of the great quotes from a pitcher during a recent conversation with Santana, who told his manager I want the hitters to adjust to me, not the other way around.
Yeah, but you know, that's a great quote coming from Santana, but you have to have the stuff to make hitters adjust to you. And Santana has that type of stuff. You know, not everybody has the dominant changeup and the ability to get a fastball in. And you look at those strikeouts, and you know that just validates his ability to dominate hitters, and that's why he says they're going to have to adjust to me.
And that's despite missing the entire season last year. Justin Upton waiting on deck. 0-2 on Hill. Pollock the runner on first. The leadoff single for A.J. Pollock. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Diamondbacks scored their run in the second on a Ryan Roberts solo home run. Mets with 4 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Check swing. Ball 2, says Bob Davidson, the first base umpire. 2-2 on Aaron Hill, who has reached base in 21 consecutive games, coming into play today. Popped out to first in the first inning, struck out in the third. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the 5th inning here at Citi Field in Flushing, Queens. Diamondbacks won last night's game 5-4. New Ice reaches up and makes the catch to retire Aaron Hill for out number 1.
Well, that wasn't the most conventional of routes. You see Nunes, he starts in, and then he's got a beat on it. Oh! Nice catch. Gets that in. Now, you watch his first couple of steps. He comes in. Oh, then I got to go back. But a good enough athlete to make the adjustment. Santana applauding him. Again, still looking for that first ground ball out. All outs, fly ball, something in the air, or a strikeout.
3 strikeouts for Santana. So with 1 away, here's Justin Upton. Fly to left and singled his last time. Pollock the runner on first with 1 away. Fastball in for strike 2.
We see Santana's been pretty consistent at that 4th inning where he threw 18 pitches, but anywhere from 11 to 14.
Threw 90 pitches in his last start on Sunday in Colorado. His season high is 105. Jason Kubel waiting on deck. No ball, 2 strike count. Justin Upton 2 for 6 lifetime against Johan Santana.
Santana wanted to throw that one up and out of the zone away. Missed right down the middle. That is not where you want to throw an 0-2 pitch. You know, Upton will be kicking himself, though, because I don't think he's going to see another one like that.
Pollock back in at first.
So him throwing over to first, you probably got to guess that the changeup's coming right here. Wants to throw something off speed.
Upton reaches out. And it drops in front of the center fielder Torres. Second hit of the day for Justin Upton. Diamondbacks runners on first and second with only one out.
You see the first pitch going right after him. He gets ahead of Upton. 0-2. Fouls off the changeup. And this is a fastball that Upton wishes he had back. That is a changeup. And you knew the changeup was coming because Santana had just thrown over to first base. So the reason you know that it's coming is because he's going to throw a changeup. He wants to make sure the runner doesn't get any ideas of running because it's very difficult for the catcher to throw a runner out on a changeup.
So another big opportunity for Kubel back in the third inning. Kubel came up with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Now Diamondbacks have runners on first and second with 1 out. And Kubel swings and misses, strike one.
And he struck Kubel out with off-speed pitches in the previous at-bat. And if you're a hitter right here and you're Kubel, you've got to go up there and you just sit off speed. Sit off speed, at least until you get 2 strikes. Santana's not going to give in. The first pitch he gets, off speed, he's out in front of him. The fastball he will show you, the off speed he will try to throw for strikes.
Santana and Kubel 3 seasons as teammates with the Minnesota Twins. The 1-1. Kubel pops it up. The left fielder Hairston in foul territory makes the catch for out number 2.
And you see that right there. Again, Santana going after him with the off speed. This one right here, what is it? Off speed. About 80 miles an hour. Kubel just doesn't stay on it.
So Kubel now 0 for 3. Diamondbacks are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position today.
Now Goldschmidt, Paul Goldschmidt coming up to the plate right now. He has struck out twice against Santana. If I'm him right now, I'm getting up on top of the plate and I am daring him to throw me fastballs. Daring him to throw me fastballs. I'm looking off speed. I'm thinking right center field. This is a Santana that doesn't throw 93, 94 anymore. Not going to beat you inside with a fastball. Get up on top of the plate, take away the off speed.
Santana missing inside, ball 1. Goldschmidt with one of the big hits for the Diamondbacks last night in the 8th inning. Game tying 2-run double. As you see, Arizona 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position today. Pollock takes his lead off second. Upton, the runner on first. Pitch from Santana is low. Ball 2, now 2-0. To Goldschmidt, and he drills it down the left field line into the corner. Pollock scores. Upton waved home. He will score. So Goldschmidt with his 12th and 13th runs batted in of the year. After striking out twice earlier, it's now a 1-run game.
Well, and you see Goldschmidt in a 2-0 count. He's sitting on off speed. That's exactly what Santana does. Just leaves it over the heart of the plate. Goldschmidt waiting on it, yanks it down the line. But that's a great job of hitting, and whether it's guessing right or intelligent guessing, he was sitting on off speed, 2-0. Knew Santana wouldn't give in to him. And that's what you like to see with young hitters, with young pitchers, the ability to make adjustments. You can have all the talent in the world, but you're going to have to be able, I say, to make adjustments through the course of a season, through the course of a game, through the course of an at-bat.
That was Miguel Batista, who was scheduled to start for the Mets on Tuesday in Philadelphia, up and throwing in the Mets pen. Goldschmidt with another 2-run double, as was the case in the 8th inning last night. Drives in a pair, extends his hitting streak to 6 games. Ryan Roberts, a solo home run in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Roberts pops it into right center. Neuenhuis under it. Inning comes to an end, but the Diamondbacks score 2 and cut the Mets lead to 4-3. Baseball is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Citi Field. New York Mets lead the Arizona Diamondbacks 4-3. As David Wright gets set to lead off against Josh Colmenter, who came on in relief of Patrick Corbin back in the 4th inning. Wright 0 for 2. Fly to center and grounded to 3rd. Mets sent 8 batters to the plate in the 4th inning. They scored 4 runs on 4 hits. 2 runs batted in for Mike Nickias. 2 runs batted in for Andres Torres. Wright called down on strikes. First strikeout for Josh Colmenter. As we said it downstairs to Ken Rosenthal. Ken, where do you think David Wright will be playing next year? Will it be here in New York?
My guess would be yes, Kenny, but this is a very interesting situation. As we've seen, 6 and 7 year contracts for players entering their mid-30s or early 30s are not necessarily good ideas. On the other hand, the Mets will lose credibility with their fans if they lose Wright, particularly after the departure of Jose Reyes. Now here's the situation. The Mets hold a $16 million option on Wright for next season. If they trade him this summer, he can void that option and become a free agent. That seemingly would depress his value. The more likely scenario is that the Mets pick up the option, try to negotiate with him in the offseason, and if no deal can be reached at that point, then they entertain a trade.
All right, thanks, Ken. Hairston pops out to the shortstop, McDonald, for out number 2. Daniel Murphy with 2 of the Mets' 6 hits today. Came around to score the Mets' first run back in the 4th inning. Mets have lost their last 4. Took a 4-1 lead in the 4th. But the Diamondbacks came back with 2 runs at the top of the 5th inning. One from Colmenter and a base hit into center field. 3rd hit of the day for Daniel Murphy. So a 2-out base runner for the Mets. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Justin Turner at the plate with 2 outs and Murphy on at first on Tom Seaver bobblehead day. I'd like you to have one, Eric.
You know what? I got 2 kids. I'm gonna take 2. How about that?
As long as you go to Dodger Stadium for me on June 28th.
Oh,
when the Mets visit the Dodgers on Eric Karros bobblehead night in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm honored to have a bobblehead. And, this year the Dodgers are celebrating their 50th anniversary at the stadium. So glad to be a part of it. Excited about it. I'll get you one. I'll see what I could do.
I would enjoy that. Question is, would the Tom Seaver bobblehead strike out the Eric Karros bobblehead?
No question. Not even a question. These are pretty nice, though. And you know what I like about these Tom Seaver bobbleheads? The right knee, it's got dirt on it.
Yep.
Those of you remember Tom Seaver, known for driving to home plate, getting that back leg low.
Tom Seaver bobblehead day was actually scheduled back in April, but the game against the Marlins was rained out. So the fans with tickets for today's game will go home with one of those. At least the first 23,000 fans in attendance. A 3-0 to Turner. In for a called strike. So how many do you get on your bobblehead night?
I'm not sure, but I will put one aside for you and our producer, Jeff Gowan. I might get him 2. You can travel with one and leave one at home, too.
So, folks, if you're in Los Angeles, be sure to pick up a ticket June 28th. Dodgers and Mets.
I tell you, the Dodgers are playing some good baseball. You talk about this Diamondback ball club that won the division last year, and who are they going to have to fend off this year? That Dodger ball club got off to a red-hot start. I think more than anything, with the ownership change there as well, they become big players at the trade deadline. Economically, they can go out, they can make an impact, they can go out and acquire a player. If I had to pick, I'd pick Arizona and Los Angeles as the 2 teams competing in the West at the end.
Payoff pitch to Turner. He strikes out, and that will end the inning. Murphy stranded. 5 of the books here at Citi Field on Tom Seaver bobblehead day. Tonight's game, presented by Chevrolet, is sponsored by Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Ken Rosenthal here at Citi Field. Mets lead the Diamondbacks 4-3. As John McDonald steps in to lead off against Johan Santana here in the top of the 6th inning. McDonald with 2 hits today. Doubled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. And he singles here in the 6th. McDonald 3 for 3.
Yeah, not being fooled at all by Santana.
He was 1 for 13 against Santana. Coming into this game, he's 3 for 3 today.
Yeah, well, Santana misses his spot there. It's up in the zone, and I'm sure McDonald would tell you, yeah, I may not have hit him well, but that just means I'm due. He's gone up there and swung the bat real well.
So leadoff single for McDonald here in the 6th. Here's Henry Blanco. Blanco 0 for 2 today. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up to the right side. Justin Turner makes the play for out number 1. Miguel Batista continues to throw in the Mets pen as we check out our game summary brought to you by Jeep, with the Mets leading 4-3 here in the top of the 6th. Santana has allowed 3 runs, but more importantly, after the lack of run support for Johan so far this season over his first 5 starts, Mets have scored 4. All coming in the 4th inning. Patrick Corbin chased in the 4th in his 2nd Major League start, as Josh Colmenter will bat for the 5th time this season.
We see just the standard defense against the bunt here, just looking to get the out at first base. If he is able to get the bunt down and the Mets record the out, that'll be the first ground ball recorded out for the Mets today.
Wow. One and one on Colmenter. A.J. Pollock waiting on deck. John McDonald, the runner, on at first. With 1 out, top of the 6th inning. There it is, Eric. 4 strikeouts, no ground outs, and 12 fly ball outs.
Again, this is a great place to get fly balls because it's so difficult to hit the ball out of the park.
Swing and a miss. Now 1 and 2 on Colmenter.
I'm not sure I really like this play right there. It puts the pitcher at a disadvantage who doesn't really handle the bat all that well to begin with. You're asking him to try to make contact after already squaring around. I think you're asking somebody to do something that they're not real good at.
Colmenter squares the 1-2. He lays down the bunt. Nikias to Turner. McDonald moves over to second.
They say Nikias gets out there. He says, I've got it, I've got it. Calls off the first baseman. The reason he does that, he's moving towards the plate, towards first base. If Turner fields that ball, he's got to stop, turn around, find his target, and make the play. Nice play by the catcher in communicating with his first baseman.
And then the throw down to Daniel Murphy covering for out number 2. So McDonald now in scoring position. Here's A.J. Pollock. Singled and scored his last time up. Now 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. Mets lead the Diamondbacks 4-3. Johan Santana's 6th start here in 2012, looking for his first win. since September 2nd of 2010. A 4-2 victory in Atlanta. To Pollock in for strike 2.
This is where Santana, going against a younger hitter, needs to expand that hitter's zone. Don't throw anything over the plate.
Pitch number 91 from Santana today. Pollock got a piece of it.
That pitch is a couple inches off the outer part of the plate. Pollock does a nice job of just getting himself another hack here. Now Santana could come in hard with a slider here off the plate. Got Pollock thinking outside with something soft. You don't have to throw a strike on the inside part of the plate. Throw it off the plate.
Fouled off down the right field line. Count remains 1-2 on Pollock. Moving to his left and right field, makes the catch to retire the side. Middle of the 6th, 4-3 Mets.
Starting San Fran, Buster Posey owns the Brewers, hitting around 500 for his career. This is his second hit of the game. Giants have the lead in Detroit. Paul Konerko going yard, his 6th of the season. Max Scherzer is pitching well, though. 2-1 the score in the 8th inning. And in D.C., Jason Work with a 3-run shot to left off his former team. Bryce Harper 0 for 4 with the walk. Nats still win, though, 7-1. Kenny, Eric, back to you.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Citi Field. Mets leading the Diamondbacks 4-3. Kirk Neuenhuis will lead off, and you talked earlier about how important his walk was back in the 4th inning. Mets wound up scoring 4 runs in that fourth, chasing Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, when the Mets did all their scoring that inning in the fourth, 2 runners on, then proceeded with 2 base hits. He went up there, battled, and drew a walk.
There's a base hit into right field off the bat of Neuenhuis. He reaches base for the 3rd time today. Mets have the leadoff man on for the 2nd time today as Mike Nickias steps in. Nickias drove in the Mets' first 2 runs back in the 4th inning.
Well, you see Santana, as Terry Collins has him out there on the on-deck circle. Don't see anybody down in the bullpen warming up, although we did see Miguel Batista earlier.
Terry Collins announced yesterday that Batista would start the game on Tuesday in Philadelphia as the Mets sent Chris Swindon to AAA Buffalo. Mike Pelfrey, of course, underwent Tommy John surgery this past week. Neuenhuis, the runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Ike Davis has had some struggles this year. He's got a bat, got the gloves on.
To Nickias. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Nobody up in the Mets pen. 3-0 from Colmenter. Now 3-1.
Well, if Nickias can get down to first base, runners at first and second, you put Santana up to the plate just to bunt. Get those runners over.
Santana with a sacrifice bunt earlier back in the 4th inning, which helped lead to the Mets' 3rd and 4th runs. Neuenhuis goes, and Nickias sends it to deep center field, and now Neuenhuis will retreat back to first with 1 away. Time now for today's better moment. Johan Santana in his 6th start of the season. 4 strikeouts over the first 6 innings. At the plate, a base hit up the middle in the 3rd inning, and then a key sacrifice bunt in the 4th. Today's better moment brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show. Johan Santana, key for him today, do it yourself. And that's what he's done. Contributed at the plate, pitched a great ball game so far.
After the Mets scored only 4 runs in support of Santana over his first 5 starts this year.
There it is. That's the scouting report. So far, he's held up his end of the bargain. Do it yourself. Diamondbacks right there in just a regular bunt situation. As far as defense is concerned, just looking to get the out at first.
Santana lays down the bunt. Colmenter to first. Another sacrifice for Santana as Neuenhuis advances to second base. So runner in scoring position for Torres, who drove in the 3rd and 4th Mets runs back in the 4th inning with a single to left center.
Well, Torres 5 for 6 with runners in scoring position this year.
Torres now with at least one hit and at least one run batted in all 5 games since coming off the disabled list. Clemente missing away, ball 2. How about that? With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, he is perfect.
Yeah, you know, and this is a guy, though, although he's a leadoff guy, Torres, and got him at the top of the lineup, he has extra base power. A few years ago at the Giants, had over 70. Kirk Gibson not even going to mess with him. So put him on, especially Torres being ahead of the count, 2-0.
So Torres heads down to first. And Clemente will now face Ruben Tejada with runners on first and second. And 2 outs. Tejada is 0 for 3. In fact, the 2-3-4 hitters in the Mets order, Tejada, Wright, and Hairston have got a combined 0 for 9. 5 through 9 in the Mets batting order, Eric. 7 for 11 with a pair of walks and 2 sacrifice bunts. So the bottom of the order getting it done for the Mets. Nickius, the number 8 hitter, with a pair of runs batted in. Santana, 2 sacrifice bunts. Inwood Heiss has reached base 3 times. First pitch to Tejada, nothing in 1.
But, you know, good or bad, this team is not, and speaking about the New York Mets, they're not a one-man show. They don't have that impact guy that's just going to carry a ball club. David Wright, excellent all-star player, but he's not a guy that can carry a club. The Mets to be successful this year, to be competitive, they got to get contributions from everybody throughout the lineup. That's what they're getting today. They're not going to rely on 1 or 2 guys.
One and 2 on Ruben Tejada. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning here at Citi Field. Inwood Heiss and Torres, the base runners. Mets with a 1-run lead, 4-3. Tejada is called out on strikes. Justin Upton will bat second in the top of the 7th for the Diamondbacks. We'll return after these messages from your local Fox station. Bobby Parnell up and throwing in the Mets pen. Santana's longest outing this season, 6 2/3. 2 starts ago against Miami. He has thrown 93 pitches so far today. His season high is 105. Aaron Hill 0 for 3. Hill, Upton, and Kubel for the Diamondbacks here in the 7th, trailing by a run.
Really is amazing, though, that Santana has gone this long and still haven't recorded a ground ball out. I know we had the sacrifice bunt from the pitcher, but no play yet for the infield as far as ground ball.
Two-one to Hill. Now 2-2. Another foul off to the right side. Diamondbacks a game over 500. They trail the Dodgers by 4 in the National League West after winning the division last season. Kirk Gibson, the National League Manager of the Year, as Hill lifts this one foul down the left field line.
I know the Diamondbacks are down by 1 run, but this is really the position that they seem to thrive. Last year, their 94 wins, 48 of those wins will come from behind wins.
Wow.
Again, they just never stop coming at you.
Center field, Torres. 1 out. Well, tomorrow, NASCAR and Fox heads to Talladega to take on the big one as defending champion Jimmy Johnson leads the world's best drivers in a chase for the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing with the Aaron's 499 live from the Talladega Super Speedway tomorrow at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. 100 pitches for Santana as Justin Upton steps in. Upton with 2 hits today. And this team has really taken on Kirk Gibson's personality. You know, we were talking to Terry Collins before the game, and he said with the way that Kirk played, this Diamondback club plays the game the right way.
You know, and granted, Kirk Gibson gets a ton of the credit, but the coaching staff as well. It's made up of guys like, there's Kirk Gibson, Don Baylor, and Alan Trammell, Charles Nagy, Eric Young. All of those guys played a certain way. They played hard. They were intense. They had fun, but it was a no-nonsense. Matt Williams.
A ground ball to Tejada. First ground ball out of the day, induced by Santana, aside from that sacrifice bunt.
Well, and it really couldn't have come at a better time right now for Santana. You're facing the 2, 3, 4 hitters of the lineup. This is really the turning point of the game as far as what you've got the next 2 innings, and gets his ground ball. Check that out right there, Kenny. We got the hot zone. You see Jason Kubel. It's a lot of those balls down the middle of the plate, but out of the zone as well, on the outer part, away.
It's been a frustrating day for Kubel. His last 2 times up have come with 2 men on base. He struck out and fouled out.
Well, he's just been getting killed with off-speed pitches. You know, and this is a type of situation, nobody on with 2 outs, and Santana can pitch backwards. Instead of the off-speed that he's been feeding him, you can go with him with the fastball, because you got Kubel right now. He's guessing. Is he going off-speed? Is he going fastball? And see right there, just laid a fastball right in there.
Kubel 0 for 3.
And there's another fastball. And you got, as a hitter right now, you're all screwed up. Thinking, man, he's been getting me out with off speed. Now he's throwing fastballs. But again, you have to look at the situation. You got nobody on base of him.
One, two from Santana, just missing away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Brad Ziegler, pen.
Ziegler, the winning pitcher in last night's game. Coble strikes out for the second time. 5th strikeout for Santana. A 1-2-3 inning, 7th inning stretch time here in New York. Time now for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. Here's Darryl Strawberry on the left, honoring David Wright last night. Wright passed Strawberry this past week to become the Mets' all-time franchise leader in runs batted in.
Yeah, very solid career up to this point. Last couple of years not the same as when he first came up, but really a fixture here for this New York ball club. I remember coming in to play the Mets, Mike Piazza introduced me to David Wright and him saying this kid's going to be the next face of the franchise. And sure enough, that's what David Wright is. You take a look at those numbers, Kenny. Those are the franchise ranks. Batting average, RBI, extra base hits, and total bases. There have been some great players come through this New York Met organization. David Wright making his mark.
So just as the Mets count on David Wright, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof results. Backhanded by the third baseman Roberts, and the throw beats right to the bag, 1 away. Today's game is sponsored by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Citi Field. Kenny Albert with Eric Karros and Ken Rosenthal. Mike Baxter has come out to pinch hit for Scott Hairston. That is Craig Breslow up in the Diamondbacks pen. And that is Kirk Gibson heading out to the mound.
Well, now we're going to get into the battle of the wits coming up here, and going to bring in the lefty, Craig Breslow.
Mike Baxter announced as the pinch hitter, and then Kirk Gibson went to the bullpen for 31-year-old left-hander Craig Breslow, yet another Connecticut native on this Diamondbacks roster. Grew up in New Haven and then attended Yale University. He was the first player out of Yale to reach the major leagues since Ron Darlington does such a terrific job on the Mets telecasts. So it's Baxter, who grew up right here in Queens, facing Breslow with one out. And the base is empty, bottom of the 7th inning, and Baxter swings at the first pitch and sends it to deep right center. The catch is made by another Connecticut native, A.J. Pollock, for out number 2.
Yeah, he hit that ball pretty well, but as we've talked about all game long, this just is not a place that is enjoyable for hitters. And even though the fences have been moved in, still very much a pitcher's ballpark. And you see that part of the field, 390, it's not going anywhere.
So with 2 outs, here's Daniel Murphy, who has 3 hits in today's game. Singled in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th innings. Patrick Corbin, the Diamondbacks starter, went 3 1/3, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits. There's Bobby Pardell up in the Mets pen. Josh Colmenter pitched 3 innings out of the bullpen. Did not allow a run on 3 hits, although he did give up the base hit, which scored the 3rd and 4th Met runs charged to Corbin.
Well, the Mets would like to score a few more because the bullpen has been tricky the last couple of games. Last 7 in particular, the bullpen 1-3. 25 innings pitched, 24 earned runs.
Wow. Up the middle, 4th hit of the game for Daniel Murphy. So a 2-out base runner for the Mets as Justin Turner steps in. Second career 4-hit game for Murphy. Did it last July in Cincinnati. Now 1-1 on Turner, who singled and scored back in the 4th inning. 1 for 3 today. Kirk Neuenhuis waiting on deck. Should Turner reach? 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Mets with a 4-3 lead. They scored all 4 of their runs in the 4th inning. Pollock moving to his right. And that will do it for the Mets in the 7th. Mike Baxter remains in the game for the Mets in left field. And the new pitcher is 27-year-old right-hander Bobby Parnell, making his 13th appearance. And Eric, you talked about the recent struggles of the Mets bullpen. They will try and hold the lead for Johan Santana.
Yeah, they just haven't been as effective as Terry Collins would have liked. This young man, though, has got a great arm. He really has closer stuff. You saw that graphic we had at 15 strikeouts, only 2 walks.
Left-handed Tim Burdack up and throwing. Paul Goldschmidt leading off for the Diamondbacks here in the 8th. Struck out twice and then a 2-run double his last time up in the 5th. Coming on to make the catch in right field is Nieuwenhuis for out number 1. We head downstairs. Ken Rosenthal is with the Mets starter Johan Santana. Ken?
Thanks, Kenny. Johan, 7 innings today, 3 runs. What did you think of your performance?
I was trying to, trying to go deeper in the game and trying to help, anyway. And then I was able, to stay with it. And then I got out a couple jams. But the good thing is, that, we're still winning and hopefully, win this game.
93 pitches through 6 innings. You were due up third that inning. I saw you talking to Terry Collins and Dan Worth. What did you tell them?
I told them that I was fine, but it was up to them. They said I was fine, and they let me go back out there.
How close are you right now to where you want to be?
Still working. I felt pretty good. I think the consistency of, throwing all the pitches and commanding my fastball, that's what I'm working on right now. But I'm getting close. I don't know how far along I am, but the good thing is I feel good.
Johan, thanks a lot. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ken, and thanks to Johan for joining us.
Yeah, I thought he threw exceptional. And Terry Collins telling us before the game that Santana had told him, okay, maybe another week or 2, and then we're taking the gloves off. Then I want to go deeper into games. We've gotten past that, getting familiar with getting on the mound again.
Diving stop by David Wright. And the throw is off the bag, so Roberts is safe.
Wright does a nice job. You got the speedy Roberts heading down to first. Throw a bit up the line. See, Turner has to come off, but because it's up the line, he really shortens the distance that Roberts has to run. Once Roberts gets past him, Turner can't make the tag. Nice play to keep it on the infield, though, by David Wright.
Roberts on base for the 3rd time today. Here's John McDonald, who has 3 hits. Diamondbacks trail by a run, top of the 8th inning.
Diamondback team likes to run. They like to force the issue. They like to be aggressive.
Only the Marlins have stolen more bases than the Diamondbacks this year in the National League. Miguel Montero has come out into the on-deck circle to bat for Henry Blanco. 2 balls, no strikes. Roberts the runner on first. Parnell to McDonald. Ball 3.
We said it earlier, it just has not been easy for Terry Collins and the Mets handing the ball over to the bullpen as of late. Again, that ground ball wasn't hit all that hard, but now you put yourself in a position of 3-0 situation.
That was Brian Shaw in the Arizona pen. Called strike, now 3-1 on McDonald. Fouled off, 3-2.
You've seen Parnell, he falls behind and he's just going right after him with the fastball. He's got a live enough arm. We could basically tell the hitter, hey, here comes fastball. Got a little movement. Again, right here, you just got to go right after it. Throw that fastball and hope he hits it on the ground somewhere. Again, you just don't want to give free passes in this ball.
Roberts goes, payoff pitch is fouled off.
You see 98 miles an hour. I'm not messing around with any of the curveball or off-speed stuff. Like I said, this guy's got a live enough arm where he can just, if he locates with his fastball, he's difficult to hit. That'll get you some gray hair or make you lose your hair. 5 blown saves. ERA of almost 5.
Roberts holds. Ground ball to the right side. And McDonald is thrown out by the second baseman Murphy. Roberts moves to second. Well, the MLB Fan Cave is back. Some of baseball's biggest stars scheduled to visit and appear in Fan Cave videos. There's Justin Verlander. He flew out 11-year-old Shayna Hirsch, who has cystic fibrosis, along with her family to hang out with him at the cave. Check out all the latest Fan Cave happenings at MLBFanCave.com. Follow at MLB Fan Cave on Twitter and like the MLB Fan Cave on Facebook. As we showed you earlier, today's Diamondback starter, Patrick Corbin, along with J.J. Putz, visited the Fan Cave yesterday.
Hey, you know, Kenny, let's take a look at that last play. Watch what happens. Roberts has to stop. Murphy still has a play at second base if he wants to make it. Because of where that ball was hit, he's thinking, I got to go to first. But because Roberts has to jump over the ball, he still could have got that lead runner. Now, it's better to be safe than sorry. But, again, what you've done now is you've put a runner in scoring position. Now, if I'm the New York Mets right now, I'm not even messing around here. Montero is going to get ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. You know, I know it's putting the winning run down at first base, but this guy's hit close to 360 with runners in scoring position. Excellent hitter.
He's driven in more runs over the last 2 seasons than any other catcher in the major leagues. While Overbay has come out into the on-deck circle with the pitcher Breslow due up next. The 0-1 to Montero, now 0-2.
Well, he's just gone right after him with fastballs, and he's been able to elevate. He's got Montero to chase. You're not going to hit that thing if that's 90 miles an hour. Let it alone be 95. Now Parnell can continue to go up that ladder. Turns out to be a great move by Terry Collins.
The 0-2 from Parnell. It is a called strike 3. Middle of the 8th. Mets still lead by a run. Tonight's game is sponsored by Jeep. Look from high atop the UN building in Manhattan. We come to you from Citi Field in Flushing, Queens, as Miguel Montero remains in the game behind the plate for the Diamondbacks. Bottom of the 8th inning, Mets leading by a run, 4-3. Kurt Neuenhuis will lead off. He has reached base 3 times today. 2 walks and a base hit. First pitch from Breslow is in for strike 1.
Biggest at bat of the game, the 4th inning. Not a hit, but a walk. Francisco getting ready to hold down the fort in the 9th inning.
Mike Nicky is waiting on deck. He drove in the first 2 Mets runs after the Diamondbacks took the lead in the second on a Ryan Roberts solo shot off Johan Santana. First home run allowed by Santana this season in 6 starts. Santana went a season high 7 innings. Season high 108 pitches. Allowed 3 runs on 9 hits. Neuenhuis down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
Well, and I think getting back to Santana, he really pitched to this ballpark today. Only 1 ground ball out outside of a sacrifice bunt. A lot of fly balls, a lot of strikeouts. You know, and that's the thing. You've got to pitch, again, to your strength. You pitch to the environment. Santana, besides having the great physical ability, also has the great mental aptitude.
With 1 away, here's Nickias. And he takes a called strike. Vinny Rotino, called up yesterday by the Mets, has come out into the on-deck circle to bat for Bobby Parnell. Popped up. Back behind second. Catch is made by Aaron Hill for out number 2. So here's Rotino, who pinch hit in last night's game. Is a Wisconsin native. He's played for the Brewers and the Marlins as well. Graduated from the University of Wisconsin lacrosse, Eric, with a degree in chemistry. And after graduation, there's Brian Shaw in the Arizona pen. After graduation, Rotino attended the University of Wisconsin in Madison to become a pharmacist for a semester before attending a tryout with the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's quite a path. No better sounding name than Vinny Rotino to be playing in New York.
Second at bat as a Met. He's hitting in Queens. I think I've heard him call a couple of radio shows.
I'm guessing studying chemistry, he's not spending his time calling radio talk shows.
At least to talk sports. On the ground to the right side, a slow roller. It does not get by Buckner, although that ball was sold yesterday. We head to the 9th, 4-3 Mets. 10 hits for the Diamondbacks, 4 runs on 9 hits for the Mets. Ike Davis enters the game to play first base. Francisco will try and close things out. 5 saves and 6 opportunities for the Mets this season.
Yeah, well, that's nice. The 5 saves and 6 opportunities, but it hasn't been easy. He's thrown 10 innings, he's given up 15 hits, and it's not like he's dominating. The opposing hitters are hitting at a .326 clip, and that's really not the sort of batting average against you'd like to see with your closer.
Gerardo Parra will lead off here in the top of the 9th, pinch hitting for Craig Breslow. Parra had played in each of the first 27 games for the Diamondbacks, not in the starting lineup today. Pinch hitting for the 4th time this season. And he takes strike 1 from Francisco.
Well, and this is a guy you've got to keep off the base paths. He's got 8 stolen bases, so you know if he gets down to first, you pretty much guarantee he's going to be running at some point.
Lyle Overbay on deck. Parra will turn 25 years of age tomorrow. And he falls behind in the count, 0-2.
Well, we saw it last inning with Parnell throwing the hard fastball by these Arizona hitters. Francisco following suit. Coming right after Parra, 94-mile-an-hour fastball up.
The 0-2 from Francisco. Parra gets the bat on it. Long run for the center fielder. Torres makes the catch. Then bobbled it. 1 away. Today's Burger King smooth play of the game. Speaking of Andres Torres, 4th inning, he drives in a pair of runs. A 2-out, 2-run single extending the Mets lead to 4-1.
Yeah, real good at bat there by Torres, and continues to stay hot with runners in scoring position. Now 5 for 6. That right there, 2 by Torres. Our Marty Aronoff letting me know. The 13th putout by Mets outfielders today. And again, when you have a field that plays this deep, it is difficult to hit home runs. Get your outfielder, get them involved.
With 1 away, here's Lyle Overbay. Pinch hitting for A.J. Pollock. Overbay 3 for 6 as a pinch hitter, batting .324 overall. Aaron Hill on deck. 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Mets lead 4-3. Great job by our entire crew today here at Citi Field, led by producer Jeff Gowen, director Bill Webb, associate director Wayne Wilson, broadcast associate Andy Kavanaugh, our technical producer Sid Drexler, technical director Gabriel Bell. Pre-game show produced by Ethan Kleinberg, directed by Mark Deaver. The coordinating producers Mike Santini and Don Bowie. As Overbay fouls it back, down 2-1. Marty Aronoff and Mark Seguro crunching the numbers here in Queens.
And while we're giving our thanks to everybody, I just want to remind you, 94 wins last year, 48 comebacks by the Arizona Diamondbacks. They sing still.
Two and 2 now on Overbay.
You hear Jerry Lane, we're picking it up a little audio. He said that's not up. Lyle Overbay asking if that pitch was up in the zone a bit. I'm Francisco. I go with that good 94-95 up in the zone.
Here it comes, the 2-2. It is up. Full count. Another 1-run game. Diamondbacks won 5-4 last night. Mets are 6-3 in 1-run games. Diamondbacks just 4-9 and lost 9 straight prior to last night. Payoff pitch to Overbay. Fastball missing inside, so Overbay heads down to first.
Well, like I said, the Mets bullpen has not made it easy for Terry Collins and the Mets. You know, why make it easy now?
Pinch runner Willie Bloomquist will run for Lyle Overbay. That's Glenn Sherlock filling in as the first base coach today for Eric Young. Chatted with Bloomquist.
Yeah, Bloomquist is 2 for 4 stolen base attempts.
So Aaron Hill 0 for 4 in today's game. With 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Mets lead by a run.
Well, see, and what this does now is a hitter, you can sit on a fastball because Francisco wants to throw the fastball. Got a runner on first, a threat to steal. Catcher wants to call a fastball.
Bloomquist goes. No throw from Nickius.
And he throws the off speed and he steals. I mean, it just. The minute that off speed's coming, boom, off to the races. But at least if you're going to throw off speed, give a couple throws over to first base. Well, Bloomquist wasn't out there for his health. He's out there to steal a base.
His 3rd steal this season. Next pitch in for a called strike. 1-1 on Aaron Hill. Justin Upton on deck. 1-run game, top of the 9th inning. Diamondbacks just 1 for 9 today with runners in scoring position.
I'm going to say it one more time. 94 wins last year for the Diamondbacks. 48 come from behind the wins.
AJ puts in the Diamondbacks pen. Now 3-1 on Hill. Hill sends it into shallow center. Coming on is Torres. 2 away. So the Diamondbacks now down to their final out as Justin Upton steps to the plate with runner on second base, Willie Bloomquist.
Well, and you're going to the mound right now just to let Francisco know that you've got a base open. You're not forced to throw hittable pitches to Upton. You can hope that he's aggressive, use his aggressiveness against him, throw pitches off the zone. And this is a guy that can hit a fastball. Just flat out hit a fastball.
He's 1 for 2 lifetime against Frank Francisco. First pitch to Upton. Strike 1.
They know he can hit a fastball. That's why you go with the 80-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. Arizona just struggling today. You mentioned earlier, Kenny, now 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
Fastball misses. 1-1. Tim Burdack, the left-hander, up in the Mets pen.
Well, you see Francisco staying with that off-speed stuff. Now, I think you got to throw another one.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Mets looking to end a 4-game losing streak. The 1-1 to Justin Upton. Ball 2.
Even though it's 2-1, you can't give in right here. I'd still stay away from the fastball if I'm Francisco. Unless I'm putting something on the corner, got to go off speed.
2-1 from Francisco, and Upton fouls it off to the right side. Now 2-2.
Been a steady diet of breaking pitches. This is not the time to get to try and sneak a fastball.
30,253 in attendance here at Citi Field on Tom Seaver Bobblehead Day.
A lot of thinking going on out there right now, Kenny.
Not much up here in the booth. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bloomquist the runner on second. Mets lead by a run. The 2-2 from Francisco. Upton swings and misses. And the ball game is over. The New York Mets end their 4-game losing streak. They defeat the Diamondbacks 4-3. For Eric Karros and Ken Rosenthal, Kenny Albert saying so long. You've been watching Fox Sports, home of the All-Star Game, NLCS, and World Series. Now to Greg Amsinger and Harold Reynolds in the MLB Network studios.